What's up? What's up? What's up? It's Cayman Wolf, the Decrepit Gamer. We're back for the third installment of Project Ravenloft, where we're building one of the most iconic mega structures in tabletop gaming history right here in Minecraft. It's very exciting to me to be able to do this. I'm really looking forward to getting this finished and going in virtual reality and actually walking through Castle Ravenloft. If you would have told me when I was a teenager playing this module with my group of tabletop gaming friends, I would have never believed that something like that would be possible in my lifetime. But here we are. So yeah, we're going to continue on with the third episode of the build today. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to shorten these a little bit. The first couple of episodes were pretty long, and so I'm trying to shorten these down into more bite-sized videos where you can just catch pieces of them as you have time. But anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and dive right on in here, and we're going to continue on with our Castle Ravenloft build. If you want to catch up on the build process so far, if you want to go back and catch the first couple of episodes, those are linked in a playlist called Project Ravenloft that is in the description of this video. You can also see it right up here. And at the end of the video, I will also link to it. So that's three ways that you can go back and catch up on the build so far. So yeah, let's dive right in. All right, so I just laid the floor of the third floor of the castle, and I've created the foundation for all of the walls, which now just need to be raised. So the first thing that you're probably going to notice is that some of these walls now are wood and not stone. So although it doesn't specifically state a lot of times what material any portion of the castle is constructed out of, you can see here looking at the drawn picture of the castle in the module, it looks like that this portion up here is, it looks to me that this is constructed of wood, that these are wooden dwellings constructed on top of this stone castle, which I've never lived in a castle. I don't own any castles, but it seems just thinking back on it in different films and television series and artwork and whatnot, it seems that it's quite common actually for castles to contain a mixture of stone and wood structures. And this definitely looks like what we have here. And so I'm just trying to choose materials that match what we have rendered in the module. And so if it doesn't specifically say in the description of a room, like for example, this room here, this one that we're looking at right here is K42. So K42 is a bed chamber. It says that sweet smells waft from this delicately lit room. This is the bed chamber of a young girl, Gertruda Barovian, that Strad has, I guess, I don't think he's kidnapped her. I think she's kind of come willingly, but she's just a naive girl. She's not yet a vampire. And I think he's just kind of saving her to munch on later. So it never mentions in here what the room is constructed of. So I'm just going by the pictures. But I believe that the same thing probably holds true for this entire top area of the very upper area of this castle. So we're going to go with that. And of course, we can change our mind later if we like. And then again, because we've got the upper area here with the floor completed, that means that the second floor of the castle now has a ceiling, which is very exciting. So we can look at that now. I figured out how to add these arrow slits. So we've got the arrow slits here that are kind of depicted right here in K12. So that they're not, if you see here, they don't actually match one for one. So the way they've got it rendered here, there's one arrow slit in this wall, two in this wall, and then, two on the corners here. I didn't match that exactly because the way these arrow slits are made in Minecraft was to use stairs. So this is a stair and this is an inverted stair. And every thing in Minecraft has to consume one block of space, and including a stair. So there's You know, there's a wall, then there's the 3 blocks that constitute the 10-foot square on each section of the graph paper. And so they just didn't line up. So they didn't line up. So to make them symmetrical, I had to put 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and then 4 in the front. But they're symmetrical, and that's the point. You know, they're spaced out evenly, which they should be, and then you know, even though it's not the exact same number of arrow slits, I mean, who really gives a shit? You know, they're in the right place and they're aligned correctly. I've got this window right here, which looks really nice. I'll show that to you in a minute where that is located on the inside. Speaking of which, let's go on in here. So another thing that I found that I'm really excited about was this right here. It's a dynamic lights mod that lets users light up their own personal space with a light source that they're carrying, like a torch. But the most exciting thing about it is it says here that it's completely server side. This isn't going to require someone to download and install a mod on their client in order to use this, which it may end up having to happen anyway, but I'm going to avoid it if at all possible. And I'm just going to do that as a, you know, if I have to, I'm just going to do that as a last resort. I want to make this as accessible as possible to as many people as possible, you know, as easy to get into as possible without being, you know, an expert on how to mod up Minecraft, because what I'm hoping to do is to appeal not necessarily strictly to Minecraft players, but to people who might just know this module from Advanced Dungeons and Dragons and be interested in seeing it rendered out this way. I mean, when I play Minecraft, I play Questcraft. I play the VR version of Minecraft, and to me, it's just really exciting. It's awesome to be able to stand in these environments and look around as if you're really there. And it's just going to be to me, it's just going to be very thrilling to be able to be inside of Castle Ravenloft. I mean, I've just been fascinated by this module and by this structure for a long time. I just think it's just one of the most fantastic pieces of gaming culture to ever be created, and it's thrilling to recreate it here in Minecraft, and it's going to be awesome to be able to experience it in virtual reality. And I'm hoping to make that something that's easily accessible to as many people as possible. I don't want this to be limited to, you know, Minecraft modding nerds. So anyway, we've got that now. We've got that dynamic light mod, so I can pull out a torch here. And then what I've done is I've gone through, in the last couple of videos I was showing where I was adding extra lighting in here because you couldn't carry your own light source. Well, I've removed all that now. So if the description in the module specifically mentions lighting, I'm putting that lighting in. Like it specifically mentions lighting in here, the torches in here. It specifically mentions these torches in here, in the grand entryway here. It specifically mentions these chandeliers in the dining room. So I'm putting all of those. The torches in the spiral staircase it mentions, but like for example, I had a torch in here that wasn't necessary. I mean, that was necessary for you to be able to see, but did not match the description of this Hall of Faith here. Now I removed that torch because the characters can carry their own light source. Let's go ahead and set the time to midnight. So this will look like the way I will disable time cycles on the server when I make this live, because the Ravenloft server will always be nighttime because it's a vampire theme. Yeah, so now we can go out, we can go up here and we can check out the second level. So this is the grand landing. I had some lighting here that I've removed that, as a matter of fact, this is specifically mentions that this area is dark and that there's a little bit of light that falls on these alcoves here, but it doesn't say where it comes from. And with the description, we can assume that it comes from the torches that the players are holding. And then this area up here, this is the audience hall, you know, where a count or an aristocrat or a king or whatever would hold court. That's this. And so this specifically is mentioned in the description in the module as being dimly lit only by the light that's coming through the large window. And so that's this window right here. And that's the moonlight that's coming in through the window. And it specifically describes this area as being very dark. There's going to be a throne that's going to sit right up here. I had initially built a couple of candelabras to make it just give just a little bit of light because it was so dark. I mean, as you can see here, it just gets so dark that you can't really see. And it is supposed to be a dark, creepy, eerie castle, and it should always be shadowy and difficult to see, but not so difficult that you as the player can't enjoy it. So you've got to have enough light that that you can see. And so so we do now because we have that mod. And so this is the audience hall. And then next to that we've got K30 here, which is Office of the King's Accountant. K26, which is the guards post. It's a 10-foot wide section of dark corridor from east to west. And then we've got a secret door here, which leads out to a hallway that goes to K12, where I've got to put the arrow slits. And K27, the Hall of Grace, 20-foot wide hall with a vaulted ceiling. Shadows seem to dance across the distant ceiling. A low moan rises and falls the length of the corridor, intoning sadness and despair. And then that ends with this balcony right here that overlooks the chapel. K28, and this is where I was saying in my previous video where there's two zombies sitting up there in those thrones. So back in the game here, this is the Office of the Accountant. Again, these are just empty rooms right now. I've got to go and add all of the polish and all of the stuff in there that makes them match the description. But the structure is all here, so we can walk around. We can, look at it. We can look at all the rooms and see the areas that we're going to populate. Here's that secret door. This area right here is K32. This is the maids' hall where the maids live, I guess. Stained yellow lace hangs neatly from 8 canopied beds. That's going to be interesting. So 8 canopied beds will be in here. And then this stairway here is in place, and it goes up to, I remember this room. It's going to have each of these is going to have a statue, and that statue is occupied by a spirit of someone that Strad had, one of Strad's victims, and each one would answer a question for you in the module. But that's up on the 3rd floor. We'll get to that in a bit. Right now we're just trying to go around here and look at the 2nd floor now that it's got a roof over it. Okay, so this is where arrow slits are going to go. Let's go ahead and create those. All right, knock that one out, that one out, that one. All right, so that's got all of our arrow slits here. And over here in this room as well, I forget what you call this. This is the archer's post. Yeah, that room is specifically for archers to hang out and shoot arrows at enemies through the arrow slits. So man, I am really glad to have been able to add these arrow slits. Otherwise, these archers here in this wouldn't be a very good archer's post. I guess it just would be a place for the archers to come here and, I don't know, get drunk or, I don't know, have a fucking circle jerk or whatever they would do in here without any arrow slits. And then let's see, down here is that entryway to that big spire with the spiral staircase. Oh man, the scale of this thing is really, it's really coming into view here. This is only the 2nd floor of the 3 main floors, then the 2 subterranean floors, which are basically essentially the same size. It's just they extend underground. And then the spires extend way on up into the clouds there. All right, and then if I go back over here, this is that secret door. So let's look at the map and see where we are. All right, so that's right here. We've been up these stairs. This is the maid's chamber. Okay, this was that Hall of Grace that leads down here to this balcony that overlooks the chapel. So this right here is those 2 thrones that have the zombies sitting in them. So that's where we are. Let's see, so we go over here. This is the Hall of Grace here. There is the balcony. I've got to create those thrones. That secret door right here that leads to that little area with that elevator compartment right there. This is what they call, I think they call this the trap works on the map. over here behind the accountant's office. We have the spiral staircase here that extends right on up to the 3rd floor, and then that's pretty much it for the 2nd floor. So let's go on and raise the walls of the 3rd floor, and then we can start building the rooftops. And man, this castle is really it's coming along, man. It's I mean, just look at it. It's getting to be a castle now. Oh, I went ahead and raised these. I didn't raise the walls, but I went ahead and raised these battlements here to kind of get a feel for the height of them. So this walkway goes, so this wooden structure here is going to be roofed off at about 20 feet, at about half the height of these battlements here, and then that's going to be the top of the main part of the castle, and then these battlements extend right on up another 20 feet to 40 feet from the roof of the 2nd floor. And that goes all the way around. These battlements go all the way around, and then these right here are walkways. You see this? I've just kind of got this ending right here, but it's not going to end. What you see right here, this is going to be an arch that goes over a door that allows access from the front courtyard to the back courtyard. And this battlement here is going to go right on out to the exterior wall of the castle, and it's going to have battlements all the way around the exterior of the castle. So these are going to extend right on out and connect to the interior battlements of the castle that go right around the walls of the castle proper. Really, really neat. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and get these. Walls of the 3rd floor raised and see what we've got. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up right here and catch the next episode, which I'm going to release right on the heels of this one, where we're going to continue on with this build. Again, I'm just trying to do this in more bite-sized pieces. And again, just as a reminder, you can, at the very end of the video, come over here in just a second, you can catch the link that'll take you out to the playlist, so you can catch up on the first couple of episodes and see the entire build process, which I'm chronicling the entire build process of both the castle and the modding and the server and everything. So yeah, so thanks for checking out my content. Hope to see you soon. This is Kevin Wolf, the Decrepit Gamer, reminding you that you're never too old to game. And for right now, my friends, I am out of here.